But then he's like, sometimes you're just a clown. And then the Riddler's like, and they're both just laughing.
And then I thought to myself, so here we go. This is oh God, Brandon.
To talk about something good. So Colin Farrell, obviously he stole the show as the Penguin, and Lucas didn't even know that it was Colin Farrell.
I've said this story about 6 times since we've started, so let me see if I can muster up the fucking strength to say this with the same amount of vigor. Oh my God, I didn't look up the IMDb cast list for this movie. I had no idea that was Colin Farrell the whole time. I didn't know until after I got home, guys. That's actually a true story. I didn't know it was him. Didn't sound like him. Didn't look like him. The prosthetics were amazing to where he didn't look like a goofy Penguin Witch cartoon character like Danny DeVito or like he does in the cartoons and the comic books. He looks like a guy that is deformed in just a way that like, oh, he's a mob guy, you know. Oh, that's just Penguin. Yeah, we just call him Penguin. You know, he doesn't have a beak for a nose. It's just someone shot him at just the right angle, so that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
awesome.
Shot him or cut him with a knife.
And because of Colin Farrell, that scene, and my favorite scene of the whole movie, I'm not gonna lie, is that fucking Batmobile chase scene. Was so awesome. So with like the Dolby thing, it has like the subwoofer in the seats.
Yes.
So whenever the engine would like rev up and go like you would feel every bit of it in the seat. You would hear it go right across, and you would feel all the vibrations of the Batmobile, and it was just really epic, man.
Yeah.
When they show that far shot of the engine like just starting to come up. Oh my God. And then when the Penguin thinks he kills him and he just comes out the flames in that Batmobile.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, could not agree more. Love that character completely. Colin Farrell was
best Penguin
amazing.
I've ever seen.
I would agree. Yep, I would agree 100%. He is yeah, and he was funny. He had some funny moments of, moments of levity as well. Out of those 10 moments you said that were humorous, he is, 6 of them probably. So that was definitely something that stuck out to me as being very good, especially when he's on the roof being like interrogated by Jim Gordon and Batman. That was good. And yeah, so something that is kind of interesting is this occurred to me yesterday, actually. So we mentioned the third act, obviously, that is all connected to the map of Gotham that is under Riddler's floor, under the carpet. And from the very, 2 minutes into the movie, 3 minutes into the movie, they focus in on Riddler's weapon, which if you knew what that was, you would have been able to be ahead of every other character in this movie. So, you wouldn't know exactly what to use it for, but you could probably assume that it's to lift the carpet somewhere, called the carpet tucker. That it was to lift the carpet somewhere, and you could be like, yeah, it's probably in Riddler's house or apartment or whatever, and you would have been able to solve this case before so many other people in this movie, and all you had to do is just be a professional, at putting in carpets or removing carpets, just being a person watching this movie, right? And in that sense, Riddler's very weapon of choice is a riddle in and of itself. So that's like so cool. And
thumb drive.
Yeah, the thumb drive. Yeah. It's that's good. That's good. My whole audience laughed and chuckled at that and whatnot. So yeah,
So
that
like
was good.
the thumb drive part was funny, but then when they made, do the little fingerprint thing, awesome. Totally.
Yeah.
That was a stroke of fucking genius.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, so we saw Batman saving people at the end of this movie as well, which I thought it warmed my heart.
Are you talking about when they're on like the little stretcher going up in the thing and she like grabs
she's
him
like
and
holding on to him
and he does the reassurance thing? I thought he was about to rip her hand off and go
I thought he was gonna rip her hand off too, because he's like looking at it and she's like holding on to him, and I'm like, don't you ruin this nice moment, Batman.
And I have to say this too about Robert Pattinson's acting in this. He does act a lot with his eyes and his face when he's with the mask, and I had never really noticed that with any other Batman. And I didn't really notice it until we mentioned that part where he looks, because a lot of it is conveyed with the way he, moves his eyes or raises just a certain part of his lip. Really, really good attention.
Agreed. Very subtle, very good. So he saves people though, and it's not just that one girl, it's the whole group of people. He takes out like the flare from, and he has gadgets. He has so many gadgets. He has like a legit utility belt going on, and it's not just filled with batarangs or anything. Like it has flares and batarangs, and like his batarang can become also like a knife, and you name it. He's got
his
it
bat
in a bag
symbol
or something.
Is a tool on his chest,
which
is fucking awesome. Cool. I don't think we've ever. I mean, we might have. You would know, but I don't think I've never seen that before.
And something else that I'll say about this movie as well, and it was my favorite part of the Snyderverse when that was going on, was the fact that they didn't really ever like show the origins of a villain or a hero. It was sort of like they just existed. Deal with it kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like Ben Affleck's Batman or the Joker, or, you name it. It tended to be a thing in those movies, the DCEU, for a period of time. It was like, you don't see the origin of that person. You don't get bogged down in the details of all that kind of stuff. And this movie did that very well. Got to hand it to them that they didn't show the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne for the 500th time. As beautiful as it was in Batman v Superman, that is my favorite incarnation of that scene. It's gorgeous. But we didn't need to see it again. We know about it. We know that he trains with the League of Shadows and becomes a ninja and Ra's al Ghul and blah, blah, blah. We know all that stuff. We know it. If you don't know it, go watch Batman Begins. It's all the same. And we just jump right into it. And the Riddler, we jump right into the Riddler, and we jump right into the Penguin.
Yeah, that's what I like about this movie too, is that it gives you right what you want right away. You're there to see Batman, and you get it.
Absolutely,
for being
you do.
3 hours, and it works against itself a lot of times. That's one thing that it has going for. I thought that he wasn't gonna be wearing the fucking bat suit until like 45 minutes into the movie. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have this long reveal. I thought, So,
they throw it right into.
He's beating the shit out of that group of thugs. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie. Maybe even less than that. I do like that the one guy who was like reticent to be joining in on these clockwork oranging beatings had only half of his face painted. I thought that was a nice little touch.
It was a nice touch because you could see his like emotion,
humanity.
Yeah, that was cool. I don't know. Are those guys? Do they have something to do with Joker? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Toward the end of the movie, we certainly find out.
Yeah, maybe. That killed it for me. My God, you can probably tell as a viewer of this episode that mostly I love this movie. I have a lot of great things to say about it, but that was just one of the things on my list of contentions that. And I love the Joker. I love the Joker is my favorite comic book character of all time. I'll show you a picture of my Joker figure collection.
It's insane.
You go. I'm a sick bastard. Okay.
Yes,
I love the Joker. Can't get enough of Joker. I thought, right? Well, my friend Anthony has been saying this for years, that he is sick of seeing the Joker pop up in everything. It's unnecessary. And I'd be like, shut up. You shut your fucking mouth. I agree with that. And I'm like, the Joker had no place in this movie. I'm sorry, but it's no. I don't know. It's disrespectful to Paul Dano, who was fantastic. You know what I mean? Not that it took the spotlight away from him necessarily, but it's like, no, just focus on the Riddler and Penguin and, you know, Catwoman or whatever. Not that she's like a villain necessarily, but, you know, just focus on them. You don't have to show us the Joker. And there wasn't.
Well, it's not like they even focused on him. They just had him like at the end. And I do have to say this. So obviously he's going to be in one of the 3 movies, presumably the next one, to set up for an ultimate showdown in the 3rd one. See where this is going. See, I don't even watch comic book movies. I already know the formula. I guess it's just movies in general, not comic book movies. But anyway, long story short story long is what I'm doing here. At the end, when they do show him, so I saw it in Dolby, which, yes, the projector is still on. I don't know if you could see
sponsored by AMC
and Coke
and Nicole Kidman.
Thank you. So you can see, I don't know how yours looked, and we saw it on IMAX, so it was like really big. But you can see that he's missing a chunk of his face, and I'm thinking that looks really cool. I didn't like his voice so much, but I'm excited to see what he's gonna look like. There's that.
It's he was played by, and I'm gonna butcher this last name, but Barry Cogan. I don't know. I'm sorry, Barry. He was in the Eternals, and he's been in some other stuff as well. But yeah, 100%, his face is screwed up. You can see it a little bit through the bars in the door. It's sort of like his skin kind of looked, I don't know, like maybe he really was burned with acid. It looked,
I was about to say,
again,
maybe he really
realistic.
He did fall face first into the vat.
Correct. And maybe it affected him like acid is supposed to affect somebody, rather than just bleaching your skin. And turning your hair green. So I don't know. We'll see. He's a good actor. So I just didn't think that like we got so close to this movie being over and the Joker wasn't shown or talked about or hinted at, and then they felt the need to do it. And it's Batman's arch nemesis,
clowny type music like start to creep in, and they're like, oh god, here we go, we know what this is. Everyone needs a friend here.
As soon as he went, and sometimes or some days you're just, and I'm like,
he's a clown. Wasn't that what he said?
About the one bad day. He's going to talk about the one bad day. That's what I was doing. Not really. I was like,
insert Gran Torino. Get off my wall. But like, this is the millennial Batman that we have here, right? We have whiny emo Bruce.
We have Nirvana music playing.
I thought that was okay. I didn't bother.
No, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. But we have the Riddler was just such a whiny fucking bitch after they caught him. And I don't remember if I said this in our spoiler review or if I haven't said it yet. Let it be known, when they showed him at the beginning, when he kind of had a bit of a Bane voice.
You came. I've been trying to reach you.
And he sounded cool, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was threatening, right? And they just see him at the coffee shop. Hey, everybody, I'm here, you know? And like, and then they interrogate him, and he just looks like a pudding pop. I don't like him. He's like, well, what about you, Bruce? Were you really an orphan with all your money?
He's like, we got everybody in that orphanage.
One baby died a year. And it's just like, come on, dude. Do you see what he did with his money? Go fuck yourself. I hate you. We're supposed to watch it together, Batman. You know, when the charges didn't go off at the right time. It was supposed to work out the way I wanted it.
We have to say though, because it sounds like we just shit on Paul Dano's performance. Paul Dano is fantastic.
No, he knocked it out of the park up until the third act. Everything
He's
that we
still
like,
good during that. It doesn't bother me as a Batman fan though. So being that I am a hardcore Batman fan, that is how the Riddler is. The Riddler always seems like he's this unstoppable force. And then once you actually stop him, he always becomes a little whiny bitch. Always.
Really?
Yes. That is the Riddler. Like they said it in the movie. He's like, I don't have physical strength. Where my strength lies is up here. And that's the Riddler. Truly, the Riddler, you could kick his ass in 5 seconds if you really wanted to, but
you cannot defeat me.
He is always thinking 5 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead, whatever. So that none of that bothered me. Of course, it was annoying to hear him whine, but the Riddler always becomes annoying.
I didn't know that then. I'll leverage some criticism away then.
Play one of the Arkham games and find all his trophies and see what he does. He starts screaming at you and crying and telling you that that's not the way it was supposed to be. And you cheated.
Silence. The police. You cheated, Batman. You couldn't have outsmarted me. Police, open up! No. I can open the door now! No! Down on the ground! Down on the ground! No! Tell me, how did you work out where I was? Do you hear me? I, Edward Nigma,
all that kind of stuff. Like he gets all into that.
Which Telltale is the Riddler in? Because I played both of the Telltale Batman games, and he's in one of them, isn't he?
Maybe. I can't even remember. Those didn't even really stick with me in my mind.
I just have to say this side note, 10 seconds. I would not have known who the Falcone guy was had it not been for the whole thing in well, I mean, I guess, but
Batman Begins.
I saw that movie one time, Brandon. I haven't watched it.
Oh my God.
Dark Knight, I've seen a handful.
You're lucky that
I saw The Dark Knight Rises once, never see that again. I hated it.
You're lucky that I know what happens when I close my computer screen because I was going to do it. I can't believe that. We had a discussion on how Batman Begins is a better movie.
It's a great movie.
But wow, how would you even remember? It's almost 20 years ago.
I only have it on DVD, and I'm not watching it on DVD. So you have to wait till I get a 4K copy. I'll watch it.
Oh my God. That's insane to me.
Casual fan.
Not even. So I don't even know what else to say. So that was the perfect thing to say to end this, in all honesty, because I'm speechless. Though I will say this, because I don't think I mentioned this, but I did in the non-spoiler review, but Zoe Kravitz is really good. But I don't think that she's like the best that we've ever seen. I think Michelle Pfeiffer is much better. Of course it comes down to personal taste, but I don't know. She was good. She was definitely better than Anne Hathaway or Halle Berry. She didn't like blow me away.
You got a lot of cats.
I think I said at the beginning about the Falcone being her father thing, how it was relatively unnecessary.
Added up 15 minutes of the movie that didn't need to be taken up.
Yeah, it literally could have just been taken right out. It didn't serve any purpose, really. I mean,
she scratched
developed
his face,
her character a little
was
bit.
it the only time she used her nails to scratch somebody?
I do believe so.
Okay.
Which Zoe Kravitz probably hated because those things were real.
Those weren't her real fingernails.
They were really on her. She could not take them off. She had to live with that for the entire filming of the movie. and she talked about how she had to learn how to wash her face differently and take showers differently and all this stuff, living with those fingernails. And the fact that they only utilize them in one scene, she probably hates that.
They help you in the film. In life, they make your life very difficult. I had to, leave them on, and I was like, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't open things. It was really scary washing my face at night. Everything became very, very difficult with those nails.
All right, well, I'm glad I brought that up then too.
Yeah, those things were monstrosities.
They looked very uncomfortable because
they looked like they were shoved under her cuticle.
Because they're so wide and bulbous toward the end. They looked weird.
They did look weird. I would hate living with that. And Andy Serkis.
So he was in the movie for all of 18 minutes as well.
Do you think it was really 18 minutes?
Well, 9 of it was him in the fucking hospital bed. Okay. And I have to say this. I think that scene really bothered me. It just really bothered me that, again, he's being an emo. This guy just took a bomb for you. It doesn't look like it, but he just took a bomb for you, bro.
Yeah.
He came out.
And Alfred, you nosy
Loomis,
bitch,
unscathed.
did that package not say for Bruce's eyes only?
Well, I think he knew.
Bad Alfred.
We knew something he knew something that the audience didn't, and that was gonna kill him. We had to do it anyway. So I'm watching that scene. He comes to, right? He's unscathed, a la Halloween 4 Loomis, right? After he's blown up. Yeah. And the first thing, you fucking lied to me, Alfred. Why'd you do it my whole fucking life? He's mad at him, screaming at him. And then Alfred's like, what the fuck is happening? And he goes, I'm trying to protect you, your father. And I'm just like, why is the heart rate not going through the roof on this machine over here?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be worked up. I don't know. That scene just kind of bothered me. He was really underutilized. The only thing we got, you know what he reminded me of in this movie? He reminded me of Obi-Wan in the prequels. We're told that he did all these great things, but we're not shown all the great things that he's done. Okay, yeah. He's just there. It sucks because Andy Serkis has been known for his CG roles, but lately in the last 10 years, he's been much more on screen.
Hey, come here. Come here. It's okay. You can go, but just don't tell anyone, all right?
And I love that about him. And I wanted to see him more as Alfred. So hopefully, since he's not dead, we'll see more of him in the second.
I was so thinking that they killed him at first, and I was
me too.
Pissed.
Me too. I thought it was going to take chances. You don't even
utilize him, and then you kill him? Take chances. That's going on a shirt, people, just so you know. This is the guy over here is the only one who says it. So we're going to get that son of a bitch copyright registered trademarked or whatever. I was
I know I say weird things, but people say I take chances. That is
you only refer to it as people dying in a movie though. Like when I was like, yeah, Dewey died, and you're like, this movie took some chances.
The writers took chances.
Anyway, so I thought that the writers of this movie, Matt Reeves, was going to take some chances, and he was really going to kill Alfred after not showing us him in the movie whatsoever. So I was like, Are you kidding me? That's so disrespectful to Andy Serkis, who is a phenomenal actor. And around that same part of the movie, I have this in my notes, and I believe it's one of my very final notes, but
yes,
they're like, Falcone killed your parents. No, wait. It was Maroney. Maroney killed your parents. Just kidding. It was Falcone. Like, that's 30 minutes of the movie where it's just going back and forth, where it's like Falcone did it. And then he's like, did you kill my parents? And it's like, no, but I do believe it was Maroney. And it was like, Maroney killed him? Oh my God. Maroney killed the parents. And then it was like,
I did what I had to do when your father tried to contract me. You know what I mean? He's a good guy, but he makes some fucking weird choices, though. You know, good people. I don't even know what that was.
I don't know either, but it was different. I guess it was John Turturro. So it was like, it was so weird. Like I made this mental note as I was watching the movie. It was like back and forth, you know.
Yes.
First go to John Turturro's Carmine Falcone, then, you know, go to Alfred, then go to the guy who worked for Carmine Falcone. And then it was like just jumping back and forth, and it was like, stop. Stop doing that. Bad movie.
You know, this movie, I will have to give it this. It could have suffered so fucking hard from Spider-Man 3 syndrome, but it didn't.
You're right.
Mostly.
You're right.
I'll give it that.
Oh, all of the characters were fit into the movie like puzzle pieces.
Yeah, it was
like
it was made to be.
Yep. And it felt very much like a comic book in that way as well. And that's how things are in the comic books. Villains pop in and out. They might pop in for a couple pages in the comic book and then they're gone. You don't see them again for the rest of the story. Like that's just how it is, you know. And movies have such a hard time doing that, but it seems like they're starting to get better at it now. So in conclusion, at least my conclusion, unless you want to throw anything else into it, did this movie make me feel better about Ben Affleck leaving the role of Batman? It did not. I still think that Ben Affleck is the best, most accurate comic book, you know, accurate portrayal of Batman that we've seen on screen. He's my personal favorite. And a lot of the stuff that goes with him is my favorite as well. Like his Alfred, Jeremy Irons' Alfred, is my absolute favorite incarnation of Alfred. He is, you know, he's funny, he's sarcastic, but very smart. He makes the gadgets. He puts Bruce Wayne in his place. He's like a father figure, but also, you know, a bit of a mentor, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? All the stuff that I wanted to see from Andy Serkis as well. And it's not his fault, but the movie didn't have any room for it. A 3-hour-long movie didn't have any room for all that stuff. So,
which is saying a lot because it's 3 fucking hours.
Right, exactly. So a lot of the stuff in, you know,
like we're clocking in at like theatrical Lord of the Rings territory here, people.
Correct. And it's just, you know, nothing should feel like it was left out. And that's something that felt like it was left out, was just, you know, was all the stuff with Alfred. And I heard this version of Alfred trained Bruce Wayne.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, that wasn't in the movie. So, to quote Christian Bale, oh, good for you. And how was it? You know, so, and that's the best way to end it off, I think. It's just, I miss a lot of the stuff from the DCEU. Not that it's done forever, you know, like that's still around too. And maybe that's okay that it's different, but I don't know. Being a huge Batman fan, I just miss a lot of the trappings that come with Batfleck. And this just felt a little, I don't know.
You were underwhelmed.
Yeah, a little underwhelming. That's perfect. Not bad. Very good, in fact. I look forward to seeing it again. Just
I wasn't underwhelmed. I wasn't, though. It met my expectations. So Brandon saw it a day before I did, and you know, I asked him for a on the spot 3-sentence spoiler free review. He just told me to keep my my expectations tempered, and I did. And for that, I enjoyed the living hell out of the movie. Again, the Alfred criticism is very apparent, and then the few criticisms with the third act. But other than that, I really enjoyed the movie. I don't know if I'm going to see it again in theaters before it comes out on 4K. I'll get it on 4K for sure. I still wish it's still in theaters. I know I'm still got to see Spider-Man. I don't think it got announced though, the date for the 4K, right? It's coming out next month or in May.
I believe so. April.
Okay. But it's still in theaters, so I'll probably still see it in theaters, and I'll catch a morning showing. I'll be the only one in there. It'll be phenomenal. Anyway, I think we need to give it a rating. And I have a rating.
Okay.
I have a 1 out of 10 rating that I've given it, and I'm pretty confident in this rating.
I wasn't prepared.
Okay, I'll give you a minute.
This is not final, mind you. My final rating would come after Saturday's viewing of this movie, but you know, I won't be talking about it at that point. So,
all right, I'm all out of hmms. That's all you get for the day.
Go. Do
8.5.
Interesting.
8.5. I loved it.
Okay. 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. 8.5 isn't a loved it. I really freaking enjoyed it.
And that's awesome. That's awesome. The only thing, you know, okay, mine's 7 out of 10. And maybe 6.5. I'm gonna go with 7. I'm gonna try to be positive here.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I dislike about us doing this show, or just me as a person or whatever, is that I don't like influencing other people's opinions, and I feel like I do it, and I don't like that. But like, we do this show, we talk about things or whatever. You like something, I want you to like it. I want you to love it, whatever.
Is
I
this
don't
my
want
thoughts to you about Toy Story 4, that I want you to get everything out of it you can, but it's just not my favorite? Not that this is my favorite Batman. It's not.
No. But if it was, that would be great. You know, like that. Whatever I feel or say should not have to influence you. So I just feel the need to say this, because this is the first time we haven't really had a rating that was kind of like on the same level. And it feels to me like you almost feel like you have to explain yourself for why you feel that way, but you don't have
Which
to.
I do.
You know,
sometimes
you like
feel
that.
like that.
So,
good observation.
Yeah,
I just enjoyed the living fuck out of it.
So you like that, you know, that's awesome. Most people did, and I liked it as well. I just didn't love it, right? So, but there is a lot to love here. There really is. It's a movie that I was 100% on board with for the first 2 hours, and then it was like the last hour, 45 minutes or whatever. That's when I started to go, you know, it's not like I was like, oh, I hate this now, but it was just like, they could have changed some things. And, you know, that Grace Randolph girl, she said that it might have had to do with COVID. And I know that the movie was shut down several times. Robert Pattinson got COVID during this movie. You know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. So they filmed this movie completely during the pandemic. And maybe that's why they didn't have enough time to, you know, really film the last part of this movie the way they may have wanted to. So it ended up the way it did. Not that it's terrible. It could have been so much worse, but you just kind of feel it a little bit, you know, that the pacing almost changes. So, but yeah. So I hope that we did this movie justice, and
if not, maybe we'll give it
so much
vengeance.
Yeah. Okay, one quick thing. How did you feel about Catwoman constantly referring to him as vengeance?
As baby. Oh.
As baby. No. That's probably fine. She kept saying like, cool. Okay, vengeance. Yeah, vengeance. It. All right, vengeance.
Come on, vengeance. Let's get into some trouble.
I don't know. It just felt like it kind of took from that first moment where he is like, I'm vengeance. You know, it was like, okay. Yeah, keep calling him vengeance. It was kind of
cool. It didn't bother me really.
Okay. That's fine. I just had to ask. Obviously, you can tell my feelings about that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed.
But thanks for joining us, everybody. We appreciate it very much. And, you know, if you disagree with either of us, write it down in the comments. Let us know.
Yes, we'll
respond. You asshole if you have to. And
yes, use those Catwoman claws.
Scratch me in the face.
Just a nice little.
Yeah,
that was bad. Anyway, guys, go see it. It's a good movie. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Totally go see it. Do it. Do it now. Do it. It's a 3-hour long movie. It does feel like less. So don't worry about that. But yes. Bye, everybody.